We are combining two of my favorite things at the moment, which is panettone and focaccia. We're going to be making a panettone focaccia. We are combining two of my favorite things at the moment, which is panettone and focaccia. We're going to be making a panettone focaccia. Hear me out, everyone. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. This is not a original or authentic panettone recipe at all, because that is a labor of love. There is a whole process. Jump online and even look up the process in making that, and you'll be exhausted. So I'm not even going to attempt it, because at the moment I am all about taste testing the amazing panettones in the shops. You can watch that along on socials. However, I thought to myself, I have supper club here in the studio. There are 6 people coming, attendees, ticketed attendees. It is the last for the year. It's a Christmas special. And I have put on a beautiful summer spread. And I thought to myself, I would like to gift these beautiful attendees something to take home. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a panettone focaccia, put them in a cute little box. I can take it home. I did attempt this recipe originally just to see if it would work. Made sense in my mind. This idea came to me at 4 a.m. in the morning. It's how us creatives work. And I just had to make it. I was like itching to make it. And I have to say it was beautiful. I'll flip the camera around. We'll run through the ingredients. But essentially it is a focaccia. I have added, obviously, the key elements that I love in a panettone, which is candied orange peel, raisins, and we are adding a little bit of brown sugar into this to sweeten it up, dusting it off with some icing sugar like a traditional pandoro would, and that is it. Anyway, it's super easy. If you are intimidated about making focaccia, this will also help you. I will take you through the process. It is a same day focaccia, so you don't need to drag it out over 2 days. You do need to have 3 hours up your sleeve. That's my only disclaimer, but that's given when you're making your own bread, right? So hopefully we tackled 2 issues. One, we don't have to stress out about making a focaccia from scratch. I can hopefully squash that fear for you. And number 2, a sweet version of focaccia bread, because often so I'm guilty. All I do is savory. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to do it. And the recipe is in the show notes. I will link it to the website, which you can then print off and keep. Anyway, let's flip the camera around and go through the ingredients. All right, first things first, recipe is on the website. I'll link it below, and there's like a little printout for you. So I am a hard copy person. That's just me. All right, we are going to need a large bowl. Large bowl, guys. Nothing too small. The bigger the better, to be honest. You're going to need some digital scales. This is very important when you are making bread. I just find the accuracy is just, you just need it. You need a tea towel to cover the bowl. I've got one of these little elastic bowl covers. It's fabric. Otherwise, you can use cling wrap, which is also okay. Let's go through here. Brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar. I wouldn't use caster sugar or icing sugar, because this is going to go in the middle. So brown sugar is key here. We have raisins. I like raisins. You can use sultanas. I find sultanas a little bit sweeter. Raisins. And I have here some mixed peel. Orange candied peel is ideal, but my supermarket only has a mix of lemon and orange peel, which is fine. Worked out beautiful. If you guys don't like raisins and mixed peel, you can get rid of that and just use chopped chips. That's also another option. We are going to put some unsalted butter. I'm going to actually soften this up just in the microwave for a little bit, because I'm going to add that into the dough mixture as well as some afterwards. We'll go through the process instead of oil, because to me a good panettone has butter, it has raisins, mixed peel, and ideally, obviously, in a traditional one, you're adding egg yolks, but this is not that. So anyway, so that you'll need a whisk. If you don't have a bowl scraper, that's okay. That's just to tidy up the dough. So scales. Okay, then we're going to need honey, salt, and a packet of instant dried yeast. This is probably the most important thing and process step in the whole thing. Okay, guys, because 9 times out of 10, if you've attempted dough and it's flopped, it's because your yeast has let you down. So if you've had yeast sitting in your pantry for, I don't know, however long, and you're like, it's not quite expired, but it's sitting there for a while, get rid of it and buy a new box. The fresher, the better. It makes a massive, massive difference. Use half a packet of that. So salt, honey, just warm tap water, not hot, about 40 degrees Celsius. Not hot, just literally warm from the tap. And then we are going to be using bread flour. You can use just regular plain flour. It is no problem. The difference between plain flour and bread flour is this bread flour has a higher level of protein in it. So it is going to definitely give more volume to the dough, make it more fluffy. I can definitely taste the difference now, but to be honest with you, don't stress too much. If you have a heap of plain flour, just use it. 8 out of 10 times I'm using plain flour. It is okay. So don't worry. I would much rather you buy a new sachet of yeast, to be quite frank. Anyway, let's fix this camera up and let's get started on the dough mixture. Let's put our scale on. And then we'll zero it out to cancel out the bowl weight. I'm going to add in 450 ml of warm tap water. Now you don't want it too hot. If the water is too hot, it is actually going to kill the yeast. So disclaimer there. We're just doing real precision. Okay, 450 mils. Okay, then we're going to switch it to grams, zero it out because we are going to be adding about 4 grams of instant dried yeast. Oh my gosh. Okay, that is that. We're going to add in our honey, a couple of teaspoons. This will give it a really nice crunchy coating. Okay, we're going to add in 30 grams of unsalted butter. I've melted it on the dot. Beautiful. And then we're going to give that a little bit of a whisk just to help start the yeast a little bit. I like to give it a whisk first before I add in my flour and salt. Let's go in with our flour. So I'm using 500 grams. This is going to get you 1 focaccia. If you obviously don't want the sweet version, I have a free recipe along with a whole dinner menu plan on my website for free. I'll link that up. You just have to sign up to my newsletter. You'll get that beautiful downloadable for free. I'm going to add that. Let me just get my thing. And I'm going to add in our salt. Okay, about a tablespoon of salt. Okay, as such. Just going to take the scales away. Now, your dough will be very shaggy, messy, won't look neat at all. That's okay. You're probably going to be like, it's sticky. Do not add a thing to it. Trust me. Trust the recipe. Trust the process. If something goes wrong, feel free to ask me in the comments. 9 times out of 10, it'll be your yeast. Heads up. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right, beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do is this is where our scraper comes through. All right, you're just going to tidy up. Oh my gosh. Tidy up the edges as such. And we are going to cover this bowl and let it sit at room temperature for 15 minutes. Because then we're going to do a little bit of dough yoga, as what I like to call it, where we stretch and fold it. And do that twice before we let it set. So essentially, set your timer on for 15 minutes. Where is my cover? You can use cling wrap, tea towel, whatever. Leave room temperature, 15 minutes. We'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. 15 minutes is up. So I'll wet my hands just with a bit of warm water. And we're going to stretch and fold this. This is dough yoga. So essentially you just want to grab a bit of that dough, stretch it up and fold it over. This is going to really help with those air bubbles and neaten it. See how the dough's starting to come together and it's not a shaggy hot mess like it was before. So we do that twice. So this is the first time. I'm going to cover it again with my non-dirty fingers. I'm going to put the timer back on for another 15 minutes and repeat that process again. 15 minutes up again. Take it off. Damp hand. Can you see how there's can you see our little bubbles forming? Perform this stretch and fold or dough yoga one more time and you'll see that the dough is a lot more elastic. You just pull it as far as it could kind of go without ripping it gently. This is because it has had time to relax. So that is that. We are going to cover it and let it rest for 1.5 hours. So recap. We put the dough together, covered it, let it rest for 15 minutes, uncovered, stretch and fold, covered, let it rest for 15 minutes, stretch and fold, and now it's having a 1.5 hour nap, room temperature. That is it. Then we're going to come back. We're going to pop it into a sheet pan, lined sheet pan, and it's going to go down for another nap. So it's a little bit of a process. It's very easy. It's very straightforward. It's just time. So anyway, that is that. We'll come back in 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours is up. So we are going to, first thing, let's line, just put a little bit of oil, base of a sheet pan. I like to just, sorry for all the noise, scrunch that up. That just prevents it from rolling. And that'll stick. Then we're going to add in 2 to 3 tablespoons of more oil. I know people are like, oh my God, so much oil. That's the point. It's a focaccia. Okay. Let's have a look at our dough. This is after 1.5 hours. Look at that. Beautiful. What we're going to do is we are going to gently transfer this into the baking tray as such. This has to go down for another nap, but what we're going to do is we're going to stuff it with all the goodness. Dimpling parts are not quite there yet. Hold on. So as you can see, I'm just going to oil my fingers a little bit and stretch this dough a little bit. It's already, I find that with the bread flour, it relaxes a lot quicker and stretches. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a bit of the brown sugar and we're going to sprinkle the surface as such. And we're going to get some of the mixed peel or orange peel as such all over the surface. I'm leaving some of the mixed peel for the surface when we dimple it later. Same thing with the raisins. You can put as little as much as you like. This obviously will make it a lot sweeter. Now what we're going to do, this is a part that's very hard to describe in text, so I'm going to show you. We're going to fold it like a burrito. So what you do is you're going to fold it like that, and again, as such, over. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but essentially what we want to do is nestle all that goodness in the center so that it's nice and cocooned, nestled, and flip it over so that it's smooth side facing up. This is going to go down for another nap, so we're going to cover it. I'm going to cover it just either with a tea towel or cling wrap. Again, another 1.5 hours, and that's when we will dimple. That's when we're going to dimple, add the toppings, and bake. And let's cover her up as such. Room temperature, another 1.5 hours. It has been 1.5 hours, so let's have a look at our beautiful dough. Look at that. Stunning. You see even that air bubbles. All right, let's oil her up a little bit. So a little bit of olive oil. I'm just using light olive oil here. I don't really want extra virgin because it is going to take over the taste. So we are going to dimple, which is the best part. Look at that. And you just want to make sure that you spread, oh wow, spread that to the corners. I'm not going to overly dimple it because I'm going to add in a few more raisins to the surface. Not too many, they might burn. And that's irritating me. It's like the Christmas decoration when everyone in the family wants to put the decor, but it doesn't aesthetically line up. We're going to add in the rest of our mixed peel, orange peel, as such. Then we're going to add in a few, like a little bit of unsalted butter that I've cubed. Just add it in. This will add a little bit more moisture and flavour to to the panettone. Just pop all that in. That is it. So you are going to bake this at 220 degrees Celsius for about 20 to 30 minutes until it's golden on the lowest rack of the oven, because that's going to be the hottest. So lowest rack of the oven, 220 degrees Celsius, 20 to 30 minutes. Keep an eye out. Put the timer on at 20. Check, peek through, and then check. What we're going to do after that, take it out of the oven. We're going to let it cool down completely, and then just let it rain with some icing sugar. Cut it up, and that's it. Straight up out of the oven. Look at this beautiful goodness. So this took 25 minutes or so. It's a bit hot. Can you see the gorgeous air bubbles? Got raisins that have crisped up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this out of the tin and place it just on a chopping board as such. I'm going to let this cool down completely. You can 100% eat it right out of the oven. Let it sit for maybe 5 minutes. Slice it up. I'm going to let it cool down slightly, add icing sugar, slice it up, show you the inside. It is beautiful. When you go to eat this again, you could just reheat it or slice it lengthways, toast it, butter. Amazing. Anyway, I'm going to just be cutting it into 6 pieces. Yep, 6 pieces, and putting a piece in a container for each attendee to take home. Okay, we'll slice this up and I'll show you the inside in a minute. Let's go in with some icing sugar. Usually a pandoro has icing sugar all over it, which is more the plain cake, opposing to the classic panettone that has the candied fruit. As such. All right, let me slice it. Let's cut this into 6 equal pieces. Thought I'd be nice and give the attendees something to take home. Look at that, still warm. Beautiful, look at that height, the base, the air pockets. This is stunning. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys make it. I hope you love it. Let me know in the comments if you do. Can you see all the brown sugar that was folded through? Oh, you guys, you have no idea. I hope you give it a go, and let's make dessert focaccia a thing. Can't wait for everyone to take this home and let me know what they think. Like I said, day after, slice it lengthways, toast it, or warm it up in the microwave a little bit with butter. Hope you enjoy it. Oh, I can't get over it. Absolutely beautiful. I want to bite into it, but I've got 6 people coming. I've only got 6 people. Oh, sorry, I've got 6 people coming. I've only got 6 pieces, so I'm definitely going to leave it for them. I love it so much. Please let me know what you think. Let me know if you gift it to anyone. Let me know if you're making them enjoy it. If you are new to the panettone world, welcome. It is a wonderful world, as I like to say. It is, I feel like a lot of people have been a bit of anti-panettone, maybe because they've had not a really good batch or a piece that's been dry or whatnot. So, you know what? Give this a go. See what you think. Like I said, if you don't like candied orange or raisins, you could just replace it with choc chips, and you could even ditch the brown sugar part as well. But apart from that, happy baking, and I love panettone season. Bye.